Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. And today I want to talk about how hesitating to move anywhere in Southeast Asia can leave expats stagnant amid rising costs and uncertainty in the West. The paralysis of overthinking is one of the deadliest traps an aspiring expat can fall into in a world where change is happening faster than ever and the consequences of remaining stagnant are becoming increasingly severe. The mental struggle between analysis and action can subtly undermine years of potential adventure, financial independence, and personal fulfillment, especially those considering relocating to the Philippines or Southeast Asia. Making an informed decision is wise, but overanalyzing can lead to stagnation that becomes progressively harder to escape, particularly given the rapidly deteriorating Western economy today. Stay tuned. Prudence is often confused with overthinking, but the direction makes all the difference. While overthinking leads to stagnation, thoughtful planning inspires action. This involves thinking about every potential what if situation for prospective expats. What if I run out of money? What if I fall victim to fraud? What if I start to feel alone? What if I change my mind? It might be costly to delay the decision to move. Financial and societal pressures are increasing due to worsening trends in inflation and homelessness in Western countries. The longer you postpone, the more challenging it may become for you to improve your situations in the West. Additionally, opportunities in Southeast Asia, such as affordable housing or job prospects, might become scarcer or more competitive. The premise of your concerns are valid, but the problem arises when they become your top priority. Human psychology tends to exaggerate danger and underestimate opportunity, especially in fresh settings. The Western viewpoint, often shaped by a culture of security, insurance, and stability, tends to see Southeast Asia through a lens of risk rather than potential. This leads to a vicious cycle of procrastination and insecurity. The window of opportunity begins to close as the months turn into years. The prospective expat ages, loses flexibility, loses out on favorable exchange rates, and watches as inflation erodes their money away. In the meantime, the cost of living in their country of origin keeps rising. Overanalyzing and indecision leads to more stress, anxiety, and exhaustion, which impairs cognitive function and the capacity to organize a move effectively. The vicious cycle of stagnation can be exacerbated by emotional weariness, which can leave expats feeling uninspired and stuck. Compared to many Western countries, the Philippines and Southeast Asia offer options with a lower cost of living. Although there is regional inflation, several Southeast Asian nations continue to have lower rates, often falling below 3% and occasionally approaching 1.4%, as was recently the case in the Philippines. With affordable housing, food, and transportation, cities like Manila and Davao provide a much lower cost of living than capitals in the West. Infrastructure investments, strong local consumption, and foreign remittances all contribute to the region's consistent economic growth. This economic stability presents appealing opportunities for expats looking to maintain or enhance their standard of living at a lower cost. In many parts of the West, particularly in the US, Canada, and sections of Europe, the economic landscape is shifting toward instability. Inflation, now embedded in housing, healthcare, education, and basic necessities, has become a structural issue rather than a fleeting trend. Rent has skyrocketed in numerous Western cities. Most working class and even middle class individuals struggle to afford a home. For those who have worked for decades, achieving a secure, comfortable retirement is increasingly difficult. Once thriving cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and Toronto are witnessing a rise in homelessness. In various urban areas, crime rates are on the rise. Substance misuse, social isolation, and mental health disorders are on the rise. The so called first world no longer seems safe or livable to many people. In this situation, staying in the West out of fear is more about holding on to familiarity in the face of increasing turmoil than it is about preserving comfort. Those who are unable to adjust are being left behind as the old social contract disintegrates. Theft, robbery, and drug trafficking are among the crimes that are directly caused by the pursuit of drugs or money for drugs. Many state and federal inmates in the United States indicate that they committed their crimes while under the influence of drugs or to earn money for drugs. The surge in cocaine production, for example, has been linked to increased violence in countries along supply chains and health harm in destination countries, including Western and Central Europe. Substance use and certain mental health conditions can impair judgment, impulse control, and decision making abilities, increasing an individual's likelihood of engaging in criminal activities. Criminal behavior is also linked to conditions like psychopathy and antisocial personality disorder, which are frequently accompanied by a lack of empathy and a disrespect for social standards. A number of important socioeconomic issues, including poverty, unemployment, and inequality, are linked to substance misuse and criminal activity. When people face limited legitimate opportunities, they may resort to criminal activities or substance use as coping mechanisms. Communities with high levels of deprivation often exhibit higher crime rates. Southeast Asia, on the other hand, provides an alternative route that blends a better standard of living with reduced expenses. Expats have the opportunity to live comfortably on a modest income in countries like the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Malaysia. The rent, for the most part, is reasonably priced in most parts. As for foods, it is cheap, fresh, and tastes delicious. The medical care is modestly good if you go to private hospitals. Despite having a separate system, medical care is frequently competent and far less expensive than options in the West. Socially, Southeast Asia tends to offer more community-oriented lifestyles. In general, people are friendly, hospitable, and receptive to visitors. Because outdoor life is ingrained in the culture, expats frequently report being more at peace and are socially and physically active. Additionally, advances in digital infrastructure have made online commerce and distant employment more possible than ever before. In Southeast Asia, a small pension, internet income, or retirement fund can go a lot further than in any capital in the West. An aspiring expat loses out on opportunities every year when they overthink things. Exchange rates fluctuate over time. Visa policies can change. Health declines. Family responsibilities grow. Pandemics, wars, and economic crisis are examples of global events that can suddenly make relocation more challenging or even impossible. Delaying the decision to move might be costly. Financial and social pressures are increasing due to worsening trends in inflation and homelessness in Western countries. The longer they postpone, the harder it may become for expats to enhance their situation in the West. Additionally, opportunities in Southeast Asia, such as affordable housing and jobs, may become less available or more competitive. On the other hand, people who acted, even when circumstances weren't ideal, frequently say that their greatest regret was not acting sooner. They acquire the ability to adjust. They discover strengths they never knew they had. By making the move, traveling gave them the opportunity to run into people they wouldn't have otherwise met, which changed their perspective on the landscape back home. They grow, the money lost to inflation, the joy lost to boredom, and the years lost to fear are the compound cost of inaction. These losses are more dangerous because they are frequently invisible. Lifestyle, hope, and energy gradually erode until the dream itself seems unattainable. Here are a few strategies to help you stop overthinking. Reducing the number of possibilities can help you focus more clearly and avoid brain overload. You can start by limiting the number of places, lodging options, and schools to a manageable handful. Next, instead of multitasking, group phase planning helps to create momentum and lessen disruption. You can put aside less important worries and concentrate on what really matters by evaluating the choice in light of fundamental family and personal values, such as community, career ambitions, financial security, and quality of life. Beyond spreadsheets of advantages and disadvantages, this value based approach provides clarity. Expats can benefit from coaches, mentors, or consultants who have first hand relocation experience to help sort facts from fears, provide objective perspectives, and support mental well being. Social networks, such as local or online expat groups, can also offer important practical and emotional assistance. Building familiarity and lowering dread of the unknown can be achieved by engaging with the prospective country through travel, networking, freelancing, or remote exploration. Taking baby steps instead of big leaps boosts self esteem and enables gradual adaptation to new situations. Burnout and mental exhaustion can be lessened by striking a balance during the decision making process with physical self care, mindfulness, reasonable expectations, and candid communication with loved ones. Remorse is the greatest price of overanalyzing. It is rare for people to regret taking decisive, audacious moves towards their goals, but they often regret waiting too long. The window for adventurous decisions narrows with time, age, and changing circumstances. Time is not a limitless asset. There are fewer possibilities available the longer you wait. Compared to a 65-year-old with diminishing resources and waning vitality, a 40-year-old with modest savings and robust health has a lot more options. Those who took action in spite of their anxieties are frequently the most successful expats. They understood that comfort zones are frequently deceptive and that flexibility, not passivity, is the true measure of safety. To conclude, many expats are considering moving to the Philippines or Southeast Asia due to the rising rates of inflation, homelessness, and violence in Western countries. Nevertheless, overanalyzing these relocation choices might result in delays and stagnation. This paralysis, driven by decision fatigue, fear, and overwhelming logistics, will prevent you from capitalizing on economic and life quality advantages in these regions. You can overcome inertia and make prompt, confident judgments by realizing the negative effects of overthinking and using techniques to simplify decisions, seeking help, focusing on key values, and taking care of your mental health. Given the growing economic and social constraints in Western countries and the window of opportunity in Southeast Asia, these actions are imperative. In the end, letting go of overanalyzing allows expats to turn doubt into action and start a rewarding new chapter overseas. In the event that you are continuously calculating, hesitating, and investigating, ask yourself, what will it cost me to do nothing? In today's world, the price of inaction is rising. The question is not, can I afford to take the risk, but rather, can I afford not to? All right, guys, that is all for today's show. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good day.